127. One of the melodies that I had assigned for today is, which one was I going to look at here? 831. Yes. For those of us that were here last time, we actually started practicing and singing some of this 831. And now that we have more students here, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go through it all together as written to warm up our voices, and then I'd like to see if we can maybe break it down into a round or into a piano like it says. Okay? So I'm looking at 831 on the top of page 127, and the key of this melody is F sharp major. First, and then we'll tackle the melody. Okay, here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Do, mi, sol, do, sol, mi, do. Okay, so it starts on sol, as you can see. So find a sol, any sol. I'm going to choose a high sol. And this is conducting. Let's go through once as written. How about a tempo of 1, 2. Sol, mi, sol, mi, la. Sol, mi, sol, mi, re. Mi, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi. Mi, do, fa, fa. Mi, do, ti, ti. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, re, do, ti, ti, do. Do, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do. Sol, do, fa, re, do, do. Do, fa, sol, 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 do. Okay, it's kind of a lengthy melody, but it's really not too bad. Let me check our pitch. Okay. Would any of you feel comfortable going through it one more time before we divide up? Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll divide up and see how we go. Okay. So find your soul again. Okay. One more time through. 1, 8, go. Sol, mi, la. Sol, mi, re. Mi, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi. Mi, do, fa, fa. Mi, do, ti, ti. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, re, do, ti, ti, do. Do, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do. Sol, sol, fa, re, do, do. Do, fa, sol, 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 do. All right, sounded a lot more secure that time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and with me is 10. Okay, now, let me ask you this. Do you want to just divide up into 2 groups, or do you want to do all 3? Okay, so that means let's have you 3 over here, and I'll sing with you guys. We'll be a group. And then let's have Kylie, Riley, and Hannah. You could be a group.
And let's have you three over here, and this triangular formation. Okay? Who wants to be the leader?
We could be the leader.
Okay, we're going to be the leaders. So you guys, you be group 2 and you guys be group 3. So you're going to have to wait quite a while before you start. But when we get to the end of line 2, this middle group is going to start at the beginning. And, well, yeah. I think you guys just follow where you're supposed to come in. All right, let's give it a shot. Us 4 are going to start. Or any soul that you'd like to sing. Here we go. 1, 2. So mi, la. So mi, re. Mi, so, fa, la, so, fa, mi, re, mi. Mi, do, fa, fa. Sing it out strong. Mi, do, si, mi. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, re, do, si, mi, do. Good. Actually sounded really good. When all 3 of us are going. Your groups. I should, kind of put it out so, sometimes you can arrange it so that, the first group goes back to the beginning and then they sing only until a certain spot so that everyone ends at the same time. That could be done, certainly you could help. And, it's been a while, but, I think you guys, you guys sound really good and you should think about doing a student recital. Really? I don't see why not.
What did you say in the conference?
What would I say is a
Melody
Yeah, we'll do that.
8.31.
Melody 8.31 in England.
In
And
Canada.
then we'll sing
Yeah, Melody 8.31 in Canada. Easy.
I would say, we've been working on this in class, and we just kind of wanted to share our, because, your other classes, you do things on, for student recital.
We missed the open for all student recitals though, so that's kind
Oh.
of hard to do.
Well, maybe I can bend Dave's here, and he can squeeze us in.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
You might be able to.
we'll get it on camera.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I mean, what other outlet, you're not rehearsing in choir right now, right? This is your outlet for singing.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Okay.
What time is it?
All right, I was planning on drawing 2 names from the bag today, and the 2 melodies I'd like to quiz on would be 826 and 830. You're gonna know which one? Wow.
26.
26. Okay, that's a
Kylie, I can't believe you
two-liner.
did that.
Huh?
I was gonna do that.
I
I was feeling old.
830 is the other one. Do I have any volunteers?
I'm not.
830.
I'll take it for the 50, but I'm not volunteering now.
What? Yeah, it's a disgusting key, but your voice doesn't fit, right? For 830.
voice, it fits
Honestly,
pretty.
yeah.
Just pretend it's like in C major.
That's
I mean,
hard.
the notes are on the same lines and spaces, right?
Okay, lovely.
For the solfege solos.
This is the one that took the most to practice because I kept forgetting sharps.
No.
Yeah, well, and I played on
When
the
you were
piano.
singing, you were fine.
Okay.
Well, for 830, I drew.
I should have it.
And I called
I
it.
literally.
I said, we're like, it's gonna be one of us.
All my minute.
You got it. You got it.
It's okay.
All right, we're gonna start with 826. Kylie, what key are you in? That's right. In terms of a scale, it's going to be either high or low.
It might be a little too high for me. Can I hear?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do it right now because my throat's still like recovering.
Hey, can I have you then just go up to sol and back down?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's your do.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do.
And where do you start here?
Sol.
Yep, that's right. And this is hand signs.
Sol, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, fa, mi. Sol, sol, fa, mi, sol, fa, mi, la, sol, fa, mi, re, la, sol, fa, mi.
Yes, very nice. Thank you. I forgot to go a little later and I'll
That's
go
okay,
in
I
a second.
read it. It was pretty.
Yeah, thank you. Good job. Good job. All right. Moving to 8:30 then. Anna's gonna sing for us this tune, and you know it's in the key of yes, C sharp major. That's right.
There was another song I wrote. Oh, sorry.
That would be. I was just thinking that would be weird if like you had like water in your mouth and you came in with your mask, and all of a sudden you're talking to someone and all this water comes
But it would be called that.
out. What's that? Yeah. Don't try that. Okay, so at least we're in major, right? Okay, so here's your do. So can I hear a scale first? Okay, good. Now we just need to find sol. That's our starting pitch. Yep, and this is hand signs also. All right. Good. Now go down to sol for that one. Yeah. Do, la, sol. That's the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. You got it. You seemed a little unsure of yourself on a few of the notes, but
Yeah, I can't. I thought it was
yeah, no, that's basically it. So there's just a few little awkward small leaps in there. Sometimes from fa to la, sometimes from do to la, sometimes from sol to ti, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it is heavily focused on the do, mi, and sol. There's a lot of those in there. And it's major, so that's good. All right, thank you. Let's see here. We're gonna, I guess I could say, the people that are left after the break to be drawn, Kieran, Dusty, Lane, Daniel, Haley, Tristan, Olson. All right. We need to look at a few things before we read this book. One of them is Melody 837. I know this isn't due until after the break, but we got to at least attempt to do this together in class. It's not the easiest tune in the world. Melody 837 is on the bottom of page 128, and this is in a minor key, and you see how there are no accidentals at all. So that leads us to think which form of the minor scale would be the best to sing. Natural minor, that's right. It's been a while since we've done that. So D natural minor, I'll go to the piano, we'll get that, we'll sing that, and then we have to attempt this melody. By the way, I'd like to have anyone who sings this melody just sing it as it's written. Take the first ending, go back to repeat in the middle of the piece, and then sing it again. That's not going to sing, go to the second. Please, as written. Okay, natural minor. That's lowered 6 and 7 on the way up and on the way down. Lowered everything. Here we go. Ready? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, re, do, re, sol, la, mi, re, do. Do, re, sol, la, sol, re, do. Yeah, careful with the te. It's not T this time, so it's been a while since we do that. Anyways, on 837 we start on a low sol. So, and I'm assuming since you guys are veterans, let's just jump right into this, give it a try. This is conducting. And notice we're in compound meter, so we have to tap 3 times, like this. And you probably don't want to go too fast for the first one. Okay. Everyone on 837. I'll give us just about a full measure, not quite. 1, molly, 2. Sol, do, sol, re, re, sol, re, do. Sol, sol, do, re, sol, fa, re, sol. Sol, sol, fa, sol, re, fa, sol, re. Re, sol, fa, re, fa, sol, re, re. Sol, sol, fa, sol, re, fa, sol, re. Re, sol, fa, re, do. All right, what do you think of that tune?
It's not that bad, it's just a little fast.
Just a little fast?
You don't have time to think of it.
Yeah, especially when you're sight reading it for the first time. If you practice that one, go through it several times, I don't think it should be too bad. But I wanted to point that one out because I think that's the hardest one out of that that are due after we get done. Okay? So make sure you spend a little time on that one. A few others that we won't sing right now, but I just want to mention the key. 835, that one's assigned for after break. Does anyone know what key that's in? 835? Yes. G sharp, and based on the number of accidentals you see at the end, which form of the minor? Yeah, melodic, G sharp melodic minor. And then the only other minor one I think that's assigned for after the break is 839. And again, that's one of these rarer, more rare keys, but what key do we have there? Say again? That's right, E flat minor, no flats, no sharp, or excuse me, no accidentals in the music, so I would do natural. E flat natural. Okay, before we stop out of the sightseeing book, I've got to go through one of the rhythms, because if you can jump up to page 209, because the rhythms after the break are in compound meter and syncopations at the subdivision level. This is about what, this is almost, I think, as hard as the rhythms get in all of aural skills. Although the next unit we'll be doing triplets and stuff, those maybe don't have to be so bad. But for instance, if you look at page 209, if you look at, say, rhythm 1356, that's one of the ones assigned for after the break. What on earth do you say for all that mumbo jumbo rhythm? 1356.
Is that what's a lot?
Yeah, there's a lot of talatalitas, that kind of thing. Should I try to demonstrate this one? I'll see if I can do that. 1356. If I take it out of tempo such as, I would say, one ta la ta li ta two ta li, one ta 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 two li, one ta 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 two ta la ta li ta, one ta la two. Right? Can we figure out how all those syllables work? Okay. I mean, I know you can. I'm just okay. So the second measure of the one I just did, beat 1, second measure. What do you say there? It's 1 ta 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 2. That's one of those weird looking figures, but that's what you say. Yeah, let me put it up on the board. So if I had all the subdivisions, which are, I think there's what, 6 would be. If I had something like that, basically the figure at the beginning of measure 2 is going to be something with like this and like this. So we normally say 1 ta la ta li ta. Notice these ones that are tied are the la and the li. So really what you're going to come out saying is you're going to say 1 ta ta ta. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So there is a logic, there's a method to the madness, is just finding out what is it. All right, so let's all try to read through 1356 together. About a similar tempo maybe that I just took. Give you a full measure. Or a tempo of 1, la, li, 2, ready, go. 1 ta, la, ta, li, ta, 2 ta, li, 1 ta, 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 2, li, 1 ta, 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 2 ta, la, ta, li, ta, 1 ta, la, 2. Yeah, are you able to synchronize the conducting with that? Don't worry if it doesn't come automatically, that's fine. But it is, I think, just give it some time, give it some practice. Because I know it didn't come for me automatically. I mean, you don't just like, you're not born, you come out of the womb going, what the, you know, you gotta give it some time, you gotta practice. All right, any questions about that? Then, let's move right along. I'd like to get through one melodic dictation today before we have to go. And that's going to be in your ear training book on page, you find it, page 181. Please tell me you have it. You got it?
All right.
Okay, page 181. We're going to look at melody number 4, which is only 4 bars. What on earth do the melodic dictations focus on this unit? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because they focus on outlining any or all of the diatonic triads in both major and minor keys. Believe it or not, we have actually dealt with in harmonic dictations in real music, and we've even vocally arpeggiated every single diatonic triad except for the 3-chord and the 7-chord. But we've been vocalizing and arpeggiating and listening to all the other diatonic triads in harmonic dictation and real music examples. Thankfully, I don't think there's a whole lot of chords, or, yeah, there's not a whole lot of these chords being outlined or articulated in the melodies of this chapter. Okay? But one thing that's going to probably be focused on quite a bit, we've done several of the two chords, right? Several melodies that outline the two chord, whether it's first inversion or whatnot. But also, along with our harmonic dictations, we're also focusing on the sixth chord too. So the sixth chord is a prime triad, important triad, that maybe arpeggiated somewhere in the midst of these melodies. And so I kind of like how the melodies, especially if they outline the sixth chord, they're reinforcing what we're doing in our harmonic dictation and real music. Okay? So, as you listen to the melodic dictations this unit, this chapter, bear in mind that any harmonies outlined should form acceptable or well-formed progressions still. It's not like you're going to have a measure, for instance, that outlines a 5 or a 5/7, and then the very next measure you're going to have a 4 chord. That doesn't make sense in terms of harmonic progression and logic. Okay. So at least you've got that kind of a, I don't want to say it's a restriction, but you've got some type of limits, you know, on your melodies. It's not like everything is open and everything is possible and you have no boundaries at all. At least you have some boundaries. Okay, so I think the fact that if you listen to the triads or the chords that are being outlined, I think if you make sense, sure that they make sense in terms of harmonic progression, that if you make sense of the succession of the chords that you hear as the melody unfolds, I think that can help eliminate senseless or silly noises. That's part of what I'm trying to say. All right. Now, let's just start into number 4. Number 4 on page 181 is in a minor key. Did they give you the first bit? Just the first bit? Okay, so they give you a G chord note. Okay, so we're in G minor in number 4. And remember, anytime we deal with a melodic dictation in a minor key, it's possible that you might have to use accidentals for law and T, right? If they use the ascending melodic minor scale passage. So let's, because this is not a test or quiz, what is law in G minor? E natural. And what is T? F sharp, right? F sharp. Very good. Yeah. Let's get G minor in our minds and get started on this. Alright, so can we just sing a melodic minor scale now? Here we go. Hearing number 3. 1, 2. Hearing number 4, and there's 4 measures. Let's have this be 4. Let's go. 1, 2. You guys are doing better at this than I was expecting, which is nice. Maybe this isn't as hard as I thought. Oh, it's here. Oh, you've got a D and you've got a E5. But how do you spell a 6 here? In this. Okay. And don't forget this one. Very good. Yeah, very nice. This one. Yeah, that's actually easy. But that's the only thing that looks a little off. Okay. Well, let's take a look to see. A lot of things I was seeing were very good. The first measure. Oh, so naughty. It's like the top part of the melodic minor scale on the way up. So G, D, E natural, F sharp. This measure outlined the 6th chord. So you don't have to put this, but that one was E flat. That was lay. Do, lay, do, lay. And then a lot of you got this. Re, ti, re, fa. And this needs an accidental. And you can look at this measure as either a 7 diminished triad in group position, or you could look at it as like 3 of the 4 notes of one of these chords, if you want to. You end up with fa at the end of this measure, so that you can just come down nice and easy stepwise for re, re, do at the end. So this might be one of the melodies where we had to add some of the most accidentals. Again, you didn't have to add this one, but so it just kind of gives, I know it's just a short melody, but it gives you an idea of, now we're expanding the harmonic palette that even some other triads can be outlined in our modifications, this unit. I want to ask too before you go, have I ever showed you on YouTube, and I'm not going to do it today because there's no time, but have I ever showed you on YouTube the video about the 4-chord saw Axis of Awesome? Has anyone seen that? Does anyone know what that is? Well, maybe I'll do that sometime. I'll do that after spring break. Because the 4 chords are 1, 4, 6, and 5. And we're dealing with the 6 chord now, so we can do that. Keep trying your best to get the downloaded version, the software, the app, sound files, that kind of thing. Let me know if you have any success. I'd love to hear it. Good to see you again, Dusty.
I know, I have a question.
Okay.